In a quiet little village, far from the noise of the city, there lived an old woman named Grandma Tara. She was small and thin, with silver hair tied in a neat bun and deep wrinkles that told stories of time. Yet her eyes were full of light and kindness. She lived alone in a cozy hut beside a wide banyan tree that gave shade and comfort to anyone who sat under it. Her husband had died many years ago, and she never had children. Yet not once did she complain about being alone. Every day she smiled at people passing by, greeted them warmly, and listened patiently to their worries. Life in the village was not easy. People worked hard but still faced many problems. The farmers prayed for rain, shopkeepers hoped for good sales, and mothers often cried over empty kitchens. One day, a young woman named Mira came to Grandma Tara, her eyes full of tears and her heart heavy with fear. She said, "Grandma, I'm very worried. My husband, Ravi, left for the city to find work many weeks ago. We haven't heard from him, and he hasn't sent any money. I have no rice, no vegetables, and my 2 children are crying from hunger. I feel like everything is falling apart." Grandma Tara gently patted the space beside her and said, "Come sit, my child. Tell me, what do you believe will happen next?" Mira sobbed. "I think something bad has happened. Maybe Ravi didn't find work. Maybe he forgot about us." Tara looked into her eyes and smiled calmly. "Mira," she said, "when we only think of bad things, our hearts become heavy and we lose our strength. But if we think good thoughts, even in hard times, we feel a little lighter. And sometimes when our heart is lighter, we find the courage to keep going, and that makes all the difference." Mira shook her head and asked, "But how can I think good thoughts when everything is going wrong?" Grandma Tara smiled softly and said, "Let me tell you a little story, one that helped me many years ago when I had nothing but hope." Mira wiped her tears and listened carefully. Once there was a poor man named Ratan who had no family, no money, and no food. One day he sat beside a river and cried. An old traveler walked by and asked him, "Why are you crying, friend?" Ratan replied, "I have nothing in this world. I'm all alone. I'm hungry and cold. There's nothing good in my life." The traveler sat beside him and said, "But you have eyes that can see, ears that can hear, legs that can walk. Look at this river. It still flows. The sky is still blue. The trees still give shade. You're still alive. That means your story isn't over yet." Ratan was quiet for a while. He looked at the river, the sky, the trees, and slowly his tears stopped. That day he didn't find food or money, but he found something stronger, hope. And that hope gave him the strength to keep going. He worked hard, helped others, and in time his life improved. Not because everything became easy, but because he chose to believe things could get better. Grandma Tara looked at Mira and said, "You see, child, Ratan's life didn't change overnight. It changed because he changed how he looked at the world. He chose to see what he had, not just what he lacked, and that gave him the power to move forward." Mira sat quietly for a moment and then asked, "So if I wake up every morning and think something good will happen, it really can?" Grandma Tara nodded. "Yes, it's not magic, but it's powerful. When you think good thoughts, your heart feels lighter, your work feels less heavy, and your smile returns, even in pain. And when we stay strong, life often finds a way to help us." Mira stood up and said, "I will try. Tomorrow morning, I will say, today will be a good day, and I'll keep going." Tara smiled. "That's all you need to do, my dear. One good thought at a time." Days turned into weeks, and every morning, Mira repeated those words. She worked hard, shared smiles, and told stories to her children to keep them happy. One sunny morning, a postman knocked on her door with a letter. It was from Ravi. He had found a job, he was safe, and he was sending money home. Mira's eyes filled with tears, but this time they were tears of joy. She ran to Grandma Tara's hut and hugged her tightly. "You were right. Thinking good thoughts gave me strength. And now everything is starting to get better." The old lady chuckled gently and said, "You see, when you fill your heart with light, you make room for good things to enter." Soon other villagers who had heard Mira's story began to visit Grandma Tara. They came with worries and left with hope, and her advice was always simple. Think good thoughts, speak with love, and walk with hope. That's how you win in life. Over time, the entire village felt different. People still faced problems, but now they smiled more, helped each other more, and believed more. All because one old woman reminded them of a simple truth, that your thoughts shape your world.